everybody, Tommy Ruin here. Just kidding. I am not, in fact, Tommy Ruin. What happened to my, Alright, let's move this. So, I wanted to make a video talking about, my crit heal, chain heal Critster. Yeah, I'm coining the term chain heal Critster. It is the healing spec I use in Ascension WoW. It's actually a lot of fun, and so let's get started with the ins and outs of it and how I play this particular class. As you can see, I've lazily named my alts very similar to my main. Yeah, anyway. So one of the cool things that I have to recommend that anybody who plays Ascension gets is a tool. Let me move this over here. It's called the Ascension Calculator. I just Googled it and I found it. It's on, pretty sure you can find it on their forums. But if for some reason somebody's looking for it and you need a definite link, I don't think I'm going to take the time to put it in the video comments. I guess I could, I don't know, but it's there, it's Googleable. So let's open this thing too, just in case I need to reference it. But yeah, here it is. It's essentially, it's a really easy way, and it's currently out of date. There's some things that aren't displaying the correct tooltip here, that it actually is in the game, so the power is it's just a couple of them, it's not a big deal. You can definitely go through here and you can select your powers. You can go with your level, so you go to options and you pick what, like if you're level 40 and you want to come up with a build, you put it to level 40 and it'll distribute correctly down here your available essences, your ability and talent essences, so you can just go through and start clicking shit, and it'll display what you've picked, and all that nonsense, and your powers, yeah, all that shit. So let's is there a way to read new? Don't save. And let's move this over to screen number 2 for safekeeping. All right. Let's get into the meat and bones of this. Let me go pick up my gears. This is actually my farming build. It's just a Mortal Strike build. It's mobile and it lets me move from unit to unit, killing them quickly. But that's not what this video is about. So
time is money.
Let's pick up my gear and put it in my very unorganized bags here. I'm almost fully epicked out.
Be good.
Except for, let me see. Trinkets are kind of shit in vanilla. Oh. Shit. I guess I could learn how to whisper people. Anyway, let me let this guy know. Yeah, so the trinkets in vanilla are kind of shit. These are the best ones I've been able to find from what I've been playing. So I threw some, we got a little chain heal increase and spell power increase already on this one. So let's finish equipping my gear. So one, gloves, neck. Yeah, so one of the cool things about this crit heal spam is when I started it, I was in mostly greens and a couple of blues, and the guild still let me, they still let me participate in a Molten Core, which was interesting. I'm pretty sure it was Molten Core. Maybe it was no, it was Zul'Gurub was the first time I raided with the Exiled, and Yeah, let me join, and I picked up a couple of things, but it's if you find a decent raiding guild, there's a couple of them. I think I'm a horde, so there's only like that I know of. There's only like 3 or 4 raiding guilds on Anderhall that are horde. The Alliance has a plethora. They're kind of overstocked with people. Everybody seems to go Alliance because the humans are OP and everybody wants to be the best PvPer. Some bullshit like that. Anyway, horde for life. So for crit spam, also I want to say that this is by far, I'm not saying this is the best way to chain heal. If you want to heal, it's by far not even the best way to heal. There's other people in my guild that do other types of healing. We have a druid healer who, in some situations, he outshines the rest of us because his rejuvenate is fucking insane and does like 1,000 a tick, and he can put it on a bunch of people. We have people who are front load chain healers who emphasize spell power, and their crits hit for like 6k, 9k on the first target, which is really heavy hitting. Mine do not. I emphasize really heavy crits, so let's switch to spell. Oh, I'm also in the wrong spec, so let's get to the correct spec here. And then I guess I can pull this open. Let's showcase some of the shit I have. So I go with some druid stuff. So I have Dream State, which increases my spell crit. As I said, I heavily favor spell crit, so that's what I load up on. So I got Dream State. What power is that? All I got in here? Oh, Innervate. I don't use that very much. I tend to use it on other people more often than myself. We got Natural Perfection, more crit chance. What else do I have? Resto Tree. Oh, remove. You gotta have a remove curse. Gotta have it as a healer, especially as a raid healer. Rebirth, another raid option. I tend to use it every now and then. Let me see. Feign Death is this is the only requirement my guild has for raiders, funny enough, but it makes sense. Not only is it the most important thing to have as a raider, but just whenever you're just out doing stuff, Feign Death saves you so much money and time. You can do cool stuff like the tribute run in Dire Maul. If everybody has Feign Death, you can run all the way to the fucking end and kill the boss at the very end, getting gear from him. So yeah, Feign Death, have to have it. Arcane. These are all things that I choose for my own sanity. So Arcane Intellect, Polymorph. This shows up when you get Remove Curse in one tree. This is one of the only powers that does this. It shows that it's having it in also as Arcane Mage. I don't actually have it here. So I got Blink, kind of a must. I recommend every single build having this. Saves a lot of fall damage. Most of the bosses in every raid do. Well, there's at least 1 or 2 bosses in every raid in vanilla that do something that shoot you up into the fucking air. And Blink helps you not take the fall damage. Portal Mastery, people love you if you pick up Portal Mastery. Let's see, Fire Mage, up more crit, so Pyromaniac, chance to critically hit, and allows mana regen to continue while casting. Double whammy right there, very useful. Scorch is my DPS ability. Depending on what I need, sometimes this is my only DPS ability. If for some reason I feel like picking up an AoE, I'll pick up the Thunderstorm, whatever the fuck the Balanced Druid has. It works really well. Holy Pally, let me see. I have Cleanse, really, really good. It's not a must-have, but it's highly encouraged. You know what? It may be the other must-have my guild has for raiders, because it's just impossible for a couple of pocket healers to cleanse everybody in some of those fights. And it's just a smart thing to pick Curator. I'm showing 5 points. What are the 5? Oh. So Beacon of Light, I pick up Beacon. So other than my chain heal, so my chain heal is my main heal. Other than that, I switch between other gimmicky things. Right now I'm on a Beacon of Light kick because you can throw it on people, but also a really, really good power if you don't want to do Beacon of Light because it's kind of a pain. It can be a pain in the ass to keep up, and it's pretty mana intensive. You can drop it and pick up Wild Growth for a really good AoE heal. It's just a fantastic set it and forget it AoE heal. A lot of people use Wild Growth and it works really, really well. The Protection Paladin tree, we got Touched by the Light. Increase your spell power by your strength, and this is the I'm going to call this a must-have for every single heal spec, because as you can see, it increases your spell power by your strength, which is not the cool thing, but at the bottom there, increases the amount healed by your critical heals by 30%. So if you're going a crit build like me, a 30% increase every time you crit on a heal is fucking fantastic. What else do I have in here? Nothing. And then we got Divine Shield. I didn't have this for the longest time, and I picked it up for There's a phase in Ragnaros where he goes under and these fire things spawn, and it kept killing me, even with fucking Feign Death. Like, I would Feign Death, and they would, like, when they combine, they explode and do a whole bunch of damage. One of the other healers I raid with, he suggested getting Divine Shield, because you can just pop it. Like, as soon as Azure Ghost goes under, you pop it, you become invincible, and they don't target you, so no reason to really use your Feign Death, you can save that. And when they combine and explode, you don't take that damage, so you get about 5 seconds. So I'll pop it, I'll get off a heal, then I'll move back a little bit, do a Feign Death just in case. Yeah, Divine Shield, a lot of really good uses. Retribution Paladin, here is a must-have if you're going for a crit build. So increases your healing by a little bit. You're not going to have much attack power, but you'll see there your critical healing spells heal the target for 25% of the amount healed over 12 seconds. That can be quite a bit. If you're critting like I crit for between 2.5 and 5k on my main target, 25% of that's quite a bit. So Sheath of Light, fantastic. Must have for a crit build. This priest, we got Focused Will, increases critical effect chance. Divine Aegis, this is another must-have for a crit healer in my opinion. It places a protective shield on the target, absorbing 30% of the amount healed. So this effectively increases your heal by 30%. And when you combine it with this fucking thing here, critical heals increase by 30%, and then the shield, you're effectively making your critical heal 60% more effective. What else do I have in this priest? Power Word, Fortitude, useful. And then Divine Spirit. One of the only people I know of that takes this. Spirit just isn't that useful in Ascension WoW because of the fact that everybody takes life tap. So life tap seems to be the main way people gain mana, and health and mana go up and down so quickly. The usefulness of mana regain isn't that much, but I mean, it has its uses, so I take it and consider myself special. So I didn't take Tree of Life. Tree of Life can be really good if there's no other tree in your group. You can drop a talent point somewhere and try to pick this up. I know if I have to pick it up, I drop my second main heal or my secondary heal, which right now is my Beacon of Light. Like I would drop that and I'd pick up Tree of Life if we need a tree. And it increases the healing by 6%. But as I said, I'm a crit horse, so I pick a Berserker stance. What else do we got here? Holy Priest. What the hell do I have here? Oh, Resurrection. It is. I believe I picked the Holy Priest res because it's the cheapest. I think that's why I picked it. Yeah, it's the best in some way. I think it's just because it's the cheapest to use. Not a big deal. LA Shaman. I have picked up Elemental Oath. Just 5% bonus to spell critical strike. Critical strike. Gotta get one of those. Alright, so next, Enhancement Shaman, we got Thundering Strikes. Chance to get critical strike with all spells and attacks. Bing bang boom, fantastic. Elemental Weapons increases the usefulness of my Earth Splitting weapon, which is one of the things that I depend on. And then we got okay, so this is a must-have for if you are doing a spell build. This little combination of mental dexterity and let's say you're doing spell power for damage, you'll pick up mental dexterity and mental quickness, give you the most spell power gain for what you're doing. But in this case, mental dexterity increases melee attack power by 100% of my intellect, so I got really high intel. Actually, that's a lie, I don't have it right now. Let's get that fixed. Everything into intel. So also, when it comes to stat allocations, you can dump your intellect and put it in stamina if you need to for raid fights, and it's not too big of a deal. It nerfs your heals, but sometimes the survivability is worth it for some raid fights. So this build allows you to do that because your crit rating is just so high. But so anyway, so increases melee attack power by 100% of my intellect. So that 448 becomes 448 added to my attack power, and that feeds into this, which bonus spell healing by amount equal to 20% of your attack power. So increases my spell healing by, what is that, 80, 90 something ish right there. Let's see what it is. Yeah, so about 100 extra spell power, healing spell power, with this little gimmicky talent weeding balancing thing people figured out. I didn't know about this for the longest time. I was browsing my guild's little forums and I saw that all the healers were mixing this mental dexterity with other things to really skyrocket spell power. Okay, here's some more bread and butter stuff. For my mana, most of my mana regain actually comes from this right here. So improved water shield. So I have a 100% chance to instantly gain mana as if I consumed a water shield when I gain a critical effect from a healing wave or riptide. So if I send out a chain heal, if it crits like 3 people along its chain, it doesn't. That heal has essentially cost me no mana. And I crit so often I can cast this for quite a while before I go. And if you are in a boss where you're stacking your stand for survivability, this really, really helps. Ancestral Healing reduces target's physical damage taken by 10%. When they crit, and again, I crit constantly. This is always, in the last 15 seconds, this is always up on the tanks. When I'm spamming the tanks, they always get this 10% little buff here. Blessing of the Eternals increases critical effect by 4%, and Earth Living buff increases the amount healed by your chain heal spells. Increases the healing by amount equal to 12% of your intellect. That's kind of, I just had extra points to spend, so I threw it in here. It helps a little bit. I also have Riptide. Riptide is one of those things, if you don't want to take Riptide, I highly recommend having a instant cast heal ability in your pocket for oh shit moments. This is mine, and it weaves pretty well with chain heal because when I do it, it increases the amount my chain heal heals by 25% on that target. And then, of course, trimmer. Gotta have trimmer. If you're a healer, pick up trimmer, please. Don't make your DPS and tanks have to pick it up. That should be something you get. Healing stream is fucking worthless. I tried it just the other day just to see if they upped it in any way or helped with the scaling of it. I mean, if they just made it so that it scaled a little bit with spell power, it could be useful. But even on me, I shot it down on the ground and it does like 50 healing every, what is it? Every 2 seconds. Fucking worthless. Water shield, earth living weapon, and cleansing totem. Healers, pick up cleansing totem. Alright, affliction warlock. I pick up this. Where is it at? Oh, okay, life tap. Yep, life tap. Gotta have demon skin. Summon imp. And then ritual summoning. People love you if you have this. I have it on almost all my characters. And then banish. Just like sheep, pick up banish. You will be useful. You will be a little bit more useful. I also find myself using this in Rage Blood, especially in Dire Maul. It has a lot of uses in Dire Maul. And then the very next to last thing, Berserker Stance. 3% crit, gotta love it. The damage, extra damage I take hasn't bothered me ever. So, like, whatever. If somebody tells you the damage taken outweighs it, tell them to fuck off and make their own healer. Spell Mastery increases your spell haste by 20% when a staff or caster option is equipped. Okay, this is fucking buggy as hell for some reason. If I change stances, or if I change specs, or I log in or log off, this tends to turn off. So what I gotta do is I gotta sometimes, and the way to check this is to look at your heal. Yeah, 2.475 second cast. That's wrong. It's not buffing correctly, so let's fix that. Put it back on. 2.0, there we go. Now it's activated. So just be aware of that. And then, oh yeah, also Tree of Life, Berserker Stance don't stack. So if I do pick up Tree of Life, I gotta dump Berserker. So here we go. So right now I'm sitting at 41% crit. That's most of my healing is critting. So let's stack some buffs and see what happens. Let's go with a little imp. Give me some health. So I only bring my imp out if nobody else has an imp, because especially if a tank has an imp, they have the enhanced blood pact, but blood pact is why I have my imp, the main reason. The extra health is so useful in this game because the enemies hit so fucking hard. Alright. Give Arcane Intellect, Spirit, Fortitude, little water shield. And that's it, and I'm fully buffed here. So I got that crit chance sitting there. It doesn't look right. Am I missing something? I don't think so. Let's see. So let's get some crits going. As you can see, casting it, you can see if they got a bubble on them, that means one of my heals recently crit on them, and consistent all the time fucking crits. That means they have hots on them. They got my hots, they got my heals, they got my bubbles. It's just a really lazy, super easy to use build. This is a build that I use in the videos that I've posted where I'm spamming people. It does really decent healing. It's not very I wouldn't consider it gimmicky because it's so lazy and easy to use. You basically just, most of the time I'm just targeting the tank and spamming it, and it picks up any residual AoE damage happening to the rest of the raid. But if we have a spot tank healer in the raid, my life is even better because where this thing shines is healing the raid. Like, if you're just putting dots on everybody else in the raid, you really start to outshine everyone else. So another important aspect of this, well, to get it up and running, it's really easy, but if you really want to make your heals hit hard and hit often, I suggest getting Chain Heal Bounce RE. So this RE you can get, increases the amount of times you Chain Heal bounces by 1, but increases the mana cost by 15. Because the mana cost can kind of start to weigh down on you, I only use 2 of them because 5 bounces is enough, and if you think about it, every time it bounces, it decreases in usefulness. The usefulness really starts to wear off after 4 bounces. That 5th bounce is pretty low, so I have 2 of these to get those extra 2 bounces, to get a couple extra hots going on people. And then on top of that, I have a lot of my gear enchanted with increases the amount healed by your chain heal spell by 4%. Now this RE right here, the chain heal bounce, I believe that's a cheap one. It only costs 1 orb to enchant on a piece of gear, but this one, increase the amount healed by your chain heal spell by 4%, takes 3 orbs. I suggest only using it on your best gear. Like if you have a piece of gear you're not going to replace, that's when you start dropping this on there. If you're still in blues, what I recommend putting on your blues, and worked really well for me, is this one. Increases your spell power by 2% of your intellect. It's pretty useful. It gives you a noticeable difference. You can stack it to high heaven on your gear. Let's say you don't want to over specialize and enchant all your gear with the chain heal stuff. You can just put this spell power to intellect on your gear, and you can switch back and forth between DPS and heals really easily if you want to do that. What else do I got on here? Chain heal. Yeah, mostly chain heal. Also, what I have these waiting, so Ascension devs claim they're going to make a change to the game. They haven't said when, and they haven't given much of an explanation beyond saying that they're going to reduce the amount of times an RE can stack, somewhere between 3 and 5. So in order to get ready for that, I have started collecting things I think will make my build useful if I have to cut down on the amount of times I can use my favorite enchants. So I've picked up, where is it? Oh, so Divine Aegis increases the effect of your Divine Aegis talent. That's the thing that crits and puts a shield. So if I'm limited on my other enchants, I can drop this, and it'll make my Divine Aegis better, which I think is pretty fantastic. It's one of the most useful things my critting does. So let's say it's 3. No, let's say it's 4. So let's open the character. So I can do amount done by chain heal. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I can do 4 of the intel to spell power. 1, 2, 3, 4 intel to spell power. Divine Aegis, 1, 2, 3, 4 Divine Aegises, and I got 4 left over for something else. Oh, there's another RE. There's a chain heal, 5% to chain heal RE that's really expensive to apply to gear. I don't have it yet, just because it's so expensive. And I covet my orbs, so I really don't see the use in spending 4 or 5 fucking orbs on an enchant when I don't feel like I need it for my build. My heals are fine in raiding right now. When I get into Black Wing Layer, we're starting that this weekend. When I get into Black Wing Layer, if my heals are inadequate and I discuss it with the other healers, okay, maybe I'll go get it and start putting it on my gear. I just kind of, I'm too ADD when it comes to my character. I like making my other gear, my other builds better. I'd like to have other orbs for those builds. So yeah, so that's how that goes. Anyway, that is an explanation of my chain heal Critster. And if you want to see it in action in some of the raids, you can view some of the videos below. Other than that, thanks for watching. This has been my first explanation video ever. So some more content I'll be doing in the future will be with my gamer buddy Jace, who hopefully we'll get to introduce a little more on the show or on the channel. He is a game collector and is extremely knowledgeable in all types of games and systems, which this YouTube channel will focus on that. We won't just be doing Ascension WoW and crap like that. We will be doing videos of other games. We will be doing videos talking about retro gaming and retro consoles and setups and shit like that. So as our channel continues to evolve, you should be seeing some really cool stuff. So anyway, thanks for watching, and until next time, I need to come up with a catchphrase.
Bring that shit in! Oh, goddamn! Oh, goddamn! Oh, goddamn! Oh, goddamn! Shit, yeah, it's cool! Shit, yeah, it's cool! Shit, yeah, it's cool! Yeah! Shit, yeah, it's cool! Shit, motherfuckers! Play that cymbal, man! Play that tasty, tasty hi-hat work! No, I'm gonna bring that tasty hi-hat work! I'm gonna bring that shit in! I wanna taste it, man! Right now! What's up, G? Give me a motherfucking monitor, man!
I'm sorry, I can't give you any more monitor than that. It won't go any higher than that because the transistors, the resistors,
Well,
they won't go any higher.
Alright, y'all, take this motherfucker out with a piano solo. God damn!
I hope you taped that. That's our next single. Oh, they've left.
They gave up. These guys are fucking idiots.